Now, let's move to the next topic where we'll try to understand what all different rules that needs to be followed for the Lightning Web Component whenever we have to go and accept the input. So very first rule here is whenever you are building the Lightning Web Component, which is act as an editor means which is responsible to take the input, you have to go and specify the target config with the target as the lightning underscore agent force input. And then here you have to specify the property name. Again, make sure that here you are putting the property name, not the source name, because in the other option we do have the source name. Here you have to make sure that you are putting the property name as the lead input, okay, with the target type as the lead input. Second rule, you have to make sure that you are defining one variable which is exposed with @API, that is the value variable. Again, platform may pass the pre-populated or previously entered data when the user navigates back to the form. So this is the variable that you have to define there. Third one, you have to make sure that you are defining another public variable with the name of read only. And being a JavaScript, you have to make sure that you are following the exact same case, right? This API read only is used, or it will be set true after submission so that the platform can go and log the form. So this is the what you have to go and use to disable the inputs and prevent the edit. And finally, you have to make sure that you are dispatching the event. This is where I have seen many people do make mistakes. Make sure that whenever you are dispatching the mistake, you are dispatching the entire state with your payload. Don't go and dispatch the single field that user is making the change. No. Whenever you are dispatching, on the click of the submit button, dispatch all the inputs that you do have. Because in case you are not passing the value, Salesforce will replace that with the null. So here you can see if I have to go and dispatch this many fields, I need to specify all the fields along with the value that needs to be dispatched. Okay, so this is how the complete editor will look like. I also want to further deep dive into this XML file because here I want to talk specifically about the target type. Right, this is the way of letting the Agentforce know that this is the Lightning Web Component that needs to be rendered as an input component. So for that, you have to specify the Lightning underscore Agentforce input. You have to specify the target type name as the with the C underscore prefix. So here you have to go and specify your target lightning type that we have created in the previous video. Make sure that whenever you are doing it, you are putting up here the prefix as the C. You have to also make sure that you are exposing the component which is again required. And here you have to specify the target type, not the source type. Because when you will be building the renderer component, there we have to go and specify the source type. But for the editor component, we have to go and specify here the target type. Now let's go and try to build this component. So what I will be doing here is I will be navigating to my editor and I will be building that component here. So let me do the Control-Shift-P, create Lightning Web Component. I'm selecting the JavaScript and here I'll be selecting the option as the Lightning Input Editor. So let's go and first follow all the rules that we have discussed in the previous video. As I said, you have to make sure that you are exposing certain properties as the public property. So here I'll be importing the API decorator. After that, here I am using the API read only is equal to false. Right, this is a mandatory step that needs to be done. I also need to go and expose the value. So here I am doing this with the help of getter and the setter method. I am exposing the value as well. Again, what this getter setter method is doing, let me quickly explain to you. This setter method is responsible to accept the value from the Agentforce, and then we are setting these particular variables here. Right, this value will be passed by the Agentforce. As soon as this value is here, we are setting the value into this property. So let me go and define all these properties as well. So here I go and define these properties too. As I am using here one more property underscore value, so let me go and define that underscore value as well, as I am using the getter and the setter method. Right, now in my scenario, I also want to show you how the drop down option is coming up. So you can also go for the wire decorator, where you can use the wire decorator get pick list values to get the drop down option. Here for the simplicity, I am defining the pick list values as the hard coded value. But as I said, if you want to go with the wire decorator with the drop down values, you can always go back and do that. Next thing here is I will be defining the method which is responsible to dispatch the event. That's what I mentioned, right? Here you have to make sure that you are dispatching the value change event. So what I am doing here is I will be creating the method which is responsible to go and dispatch the value. So here I go and put that method. One thing that you have to make sure that the event name must be the value change event, right? And here while dispatching, you have to dispatch all the values, not a single value. Okay, so that's what I am doing. I'm stopping the propagation, getting the values from the target that user is entering, and finally here I am dispatching the event. Next thing, I will be building my HTML file as well, which is a very simple HTML file. Let me directly go and copy and paste because there is nothing new in the HTML that I am doing, but let me quickly explain to you. I do have one single lightning card with the name of create new lead. Under the lightning card, here I am using the SLDS grid to go and take the different inputs. My first input here is the first name. My next input here is the last name. After that, I am taking the input in the form of company. I am taking the input in the form of label. I am taking the input in the form of phone. I am taking the input in the form of combo box as well, where I am giving the different option. One thing which is common for all the inputs, that is my event name. So whenever the event is getting fired, here you can see that I do have the common event, and this event, as I said, is responsible to dispatch all the values that has been entered. Right, so you have to make sure that you are always dispatching all the values whenever you are firing the event. Now my JavaScript is ready, my HTML is ready. The last part that I need to work on is my XML file. So what I'll be doing here is I'm navigating to my XML file and pasting the code here. Now this is my API version. I'm making sure that if expose is set to true. This is the master label that I have given. After that, here I am defining the target. My target here is the lightning underscore Agentforce input. This is how the Salesforce will understand that this component is defined to render the input. After that, here I am defining the target config. And here for the target type, I am specifying the C underscore lead input. What is this lead input? Lead input is nothing but my lightning type that I have defined. So whatever the API name that you have given here, you have to make sure that you are putting up C underscore lead input. Let me go and deploy this now, and we will check how the and then we will go and modify our lead input as well. So this part has been done. My lightning web component is deployed successfully. Now let me navigate to the lead input next to the UI configuration, because this component that we have developed, it is for the input. So here we have to go and make the changes into the editor. As of now, editor is loading the standard component. Here I am asking the editor, don't go and load the standard component. I have built my own lightning component with the name of lead input editor. Here you can see this is how my component will be coming up with all the drop down options that we have defined, right? And I'm clicking on the done button. Then I'll be clicking on the save option as well. So these are all changes that I have done to define my component to take the input in the form of a structured form. And finally, I have linked my component with the lead input custom lightning type as well.